and all the work outside. Sorry.
Okay. So let's forge ahead, right?
It's
Now,
perfect,
constructive
yeah.
dilemma.
Mama, fence something, cover that paper. Send only and block me.
Yeah, Papa God.
Yeah, we'll see. The man of your money for camping for the night, please.
What's in the do now?
Hey,
You can't say the lady member, she said the guy not get nothing like boss.
Hey.
Mama,
listen
what-
later, please.
Yeah.
Now, constructive dilemma is trying to
Say
say
we go die.
P implies Q and R implies S. P or R, therefore Q or S, right? Now, so this is trying to say that if you have two arguments in the form of modus ponens, right? Okay, and we are given both P and Q as well as R and S. These are different statements. P is a different statement, Q is a different statement, right? But it is in the form of what? Modus ponens. Okay, you know what modus ponens is trying to say?
P implies.
Here, how many sentences do we break down?
Hmm?
How many sentences do we break down?
Look down
The
the
two
phone.
break it down.
You know that a modus ponens is trying to break down what?
Break down what you don't understand. It's trying to break down what? It's trying to break down what?
Listen, how do you call if and then statement?
That's what it's trying to question.
Conditional statement.
Conditional statement. Huh?
If then statement.
If then statement, yes. Okay. Now for constructive dilemma, we have about two if then statement. Okay. This is the first one. P implies Q, or let's say if P then Q. Okay, and if R then S. Okay, P or Q, or R, Q or S. Do you understand this? If you affirm that the first statement of the first argument, if you affirm that both P or Q is true in the first in the first statement in each of the two statements, it is also true that Q and S, or S I mean, is true. Do you understand this? If we say P or R is true, it is also true that Q or S is true. Do you understand? So that is what constructive dilemma is trying to say. We move on to the sixth rule, which is absorption. And it's abbreviated as ABS, right? It says P implies Q, therefore P implies P and Q. P implies Q. P implies P and Q. This is what absorption is trying to say. P implies Q. P implies P and Q. Okay? Now this is trying to say, listen carefully. If P is true and Q is true, listen carefully.
For the absorption, like P.
Why they distract me?
ABS.
Are you listening?
Of
If
course.
P is true, it also implies that Q is true.
Yes, true.
Okay? And if that is the case, if you join both P and Q together to be true, then P also implies P and Q, right? Because it said both P and Q are true, then P is true. When P is alone is true, it also implies that P and Q is true. If both P and Q are true. It is also the same if you join them together. Because true implies true. It's always true. Huh? True implies true is always true.
Yeah,
Huh?
true.
And true is true.
A lie and true is
Okay.
is lie
What about
and
false
true
and
is
true?
False and true.
lie.
False and
It may work.
is equal to false.
True and false. It's
True
equals to two.
and
Not true because
false
it's
is
good
equal
first
to false.
No, false?
Of course, true and false. Well, you don't forget that the truth table for dot.
No,
Eh?
yeah, because the
Look.
two he always, so I can say for the
We
two.
have P, we have Q, and we have what?
That
P
one was
and
it.
Q.
Now how many line it for go so?
There is some answers
We
64.
have true.
Maybe I want
False,
to do
false,
an
huh?
8 or
Let's look at this,
9.
eh?
64 lines, Mohammed.
True, false, false.
Well, let's say the long one.
True, false, true, false. Now, true and true is always true.
Two.
True, false is false.
False.
False, true is false. And false, false is false.
Oh, na only true and true they go together.
Of course.
But any society true and false it means not false.
False.
Because not like that one.
Where's the and? Where's the and?
Ah, not
Listen
like.
to the main operation. Where's
I
the
don't
and? For
understand.
dot, for dot. The operation, the operator here is dot.
I don't understand.
Now, but
What
that
about,
one,
what about if the operator be in this one?
which one?
This. What I call that symbol?
Which one?
That's what the
Wedge.
That's a wedge.
Implies?
Yeah, implies.
Okay. We have true, false, false. We have true, false, true, false. Now, true implies true is true. True implies false is.
It's true.
This is supposed to be true, false. Sorry, true, false. Okay. True implies false is what? Is
True.
false.
False.
You don't say
False
it's anything
implies
that true and
true.
false. If not
No,
false, false.
false
You know me,
implies
so
true is true.
If you like that, then you go with find out
False
find.
implies false
Now this
is
thing I
true.
always see that they change. All thing they change.
Okay.
Let's say.
False implies true is true.
Okay,
False implies true
wait,
is true.
Mohammed.
False implies
How
false
to
is true.
understand this
Now
thing?
this
Wait. Let show you that.
The one where they go on
Like
this
when
one,
you
I
say
don't.
so, the true na false can. Like I tell you true first, the later lie pa you mean say na false. Then this other one na the false, na the lie na false can F. I don't lie pa the later go tell you the true so na true. Okay, I don't understand.
Not to
So
that
if na
be
the
the case.
true can
Not to
false.
that be the case.
Oh, why me have
Why
to
the
say they
implication
go?
Now
sign?
that
For
implication sign,
implication.
then they want. So that idea, then they go
That
with.
idea, right?
Now that
Now the
implication
implication
sign.
sign. Huh?
Oh,
True
if me, that's how we
implies
like this second
true.
semester.
I'm not sabi o.
It's true.
No. You don't know that's not
Nah,
sabi.
yeah,
But
that
true
What if
implies
it's sabi that this
false.
implication? I
True
do.
implies false is false. False implies true is true, and false implies false is false.
First semester, I sabi logic because
Okay.
modern women folk style. I
So-
sabi logic,
Now,
validity, and two premises and
are you listening?
conclusion.
Are you listening?
Foundation, not come on it.
For absorption, eh? P implies Q.
If I need get your friends, but
P, therefore P implies P and Q. Okay? So if I pull this one and pull this one, we'll go write it again.
You don't call for so.
Hey, I don't pull constructive dilemma, I don't pull absorption. We'll go write it again.
That's
What in
when-
constructive dilemma say?
Constructive dilemma. Brackets.
P implies Q
Q.
and R implies
Implies
S. P or R, therefore
Therefore,
Q
implies
implies
no Q
S.
or S.
S.
I think
Yes.
people spy.
Okay, the V now.
Huh?
Okay.
Oh.
I said people spy.
Then absorption.
And then moved on so.
P implies
say
Q
how you
and
know.
P implies what? P and Q.
Q.
Okay? For waiting. Already for go?
No.
Okay.
But still, I got to go Benji's now. I got to go.
You didn't make my many prepare you.
I can't put that in it.
No, left one. Do not take class first. Just left one.
It's in a gas in it. Well, the
Okay.
already one.
So move on to the next rule, eh?
Of course, why not?
When I hear one go me.
I have to go meet me.
Simplification,
It's
eh?
lovely. I like my net said we can if you did it in Kenya.
Simplification, which is abbreviated as SIM, yeah?
I don't like a part.
Simplification, are you listening?
Tell part, yeah? Now they distract me.
Hey, you see me
Why they
right
say all
here?
they draw me
I will
attention?
talk this
Not
one.
for the right to what they concentrate fast.
I also had a see right now. Here they ask me serious one. Quick, I don't see. Quick, I don't see. So if now control
You
distract me.
confess back the word back quick and don't see.
Of course, quick I don't see.
not
So like I
confess,
don't
yeah.
need do too much distraction. Even when they see. Right now, even me school again, you know why they go and not to concentrate too much.
Don't say quick, you don't see.
Now let's look at this one. P and Q, therefore P. Huh?
Yeah.
Now what this is trying to say, if P is true and Q is true, it's also that
too.
P is true on its own.
Yeah.
Huh? It is also true that P is true on its own. Right? So simplification is trying to say P is true. If P is true and Q is true, then it is also true that P is true. Huh? Okay. Now let's look at the other rule. Conjunction, huh? Conjunction, and it is abbreviated as CON.
Listen, I don't want to stop that.
J. Huh?
Let's go.
Now conjunction is trying to say P is true and Q is true. It is also true that P and Q is true. Right? If you have a single statement and it is true, and you have another statement which is also single and it is true, if you put them together,
So it is two.
of course, if you combine them together, this is true on its own and this is true on its own. Eh?
Yeah.
Just like when you say, Mohammed,
I get pennies.
huh?
Has a penny. That's a other Muhammad. Next.
Oh my God, that is
Example.
I don't that kind of example.
I don't give that example. Look, my man, pan video you. I don't go give that example. I don't go give that example. In case I don't go play that video.
Record, so like,
No, I'm not
man,
record.
but this is just put on record.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Example.
Okay.
Hey, an example, yeah? An example.
Okay.
Example.
Okay.
For the university, we all na students. We all matured enough.
That kind of example.
An example.
But let's look at this one, eh?
You won't never get that
Mohammed
example.
is a teacher.
I don't
Huh?
know that example.
It's a simple statement, eh? Okay? And let's say Mohammed is a teacher, and let's think about another statement that is also true. Mohammed knows how to drive.
Hey, Mama, you know
And he doesn't.
Mama, now you don't even know how to drive Okada.
Bicycle, say even to ride a bicycle. Not to talk of driving a car.
A car.
How to
They are
drive
expensive. Oh.
a car. Alright? Now, I can put both statements 1 and 2 together. Eh? If we put both statement 1 and statement 2 together, it can also be true, right? Now, if statement 1 is P and statement 2 is Q, we can also put statements 1 and 2 together, which is P and Q to also be true. Right?
Yeah.
You can also say Mohammed is a teacher.
And he also knows how to
And
drive a car.
he knows
How to drive a
How to
car.
drive a car.
how to drive
A car.
a car. Right?
Yeah.
So both
But
statements
you don't even
1
know how to ride a
and
bicycle.
2 are true.
There's a possibility.
If
You
it
know
is
for
true-
drive motor, but like you know you ride bicycle. You may say they ride bicycle, but you know they drive motor. So it is possible.
Now, catch up the joke.
Mm.
What
Yeah.
conjunction is trying to say?
Yeah.
Peace alone.
If Mohammed
Huh?
is saying this key also is alone, if Mohammed is a teacher, Mohammed knows how to drive a car.
Okay. So we are done with constructive
So it's
dilemma.
the truth on itself, eh?
No? Of course, it is true.
Okay.
Constructive dilemma. And the next
What
next
about
one
if
is,
if Mohammed is a teacher and
addition,
Mohammed is a
eh?
mom?
which is the last
It's a-
rule we're
Mohammed
dealing
is
with
a
today.
mom.
Huh?
Mom? A mom. That is not to go.
The last
Mohammed
rule.
and man.
Somebody.
Man and false.
Last rule, eh?
He can't be a man and also be a
9.
mom.
Addition,
It
which is
doesn't
abbreviated
fall
as
that
ADD. Huh?
Okay.
Okay? Now, addition is trying to say P, therefore P,
Eh, Mohammed, I
Oh.
never me.
Q.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay?
Then only the P stand alone.
Only P, you can
Only the P
have
stands alone.
as a
That
premise.
is
And we have two
Mohammed.
conclusions.
Huh?
We only have one premise and two conclusions. Okay? P, therefore P and Q.
Mohammed is a man.
Okay?
P or Q.
P,
So
P
it's
or
a
Q,
truth
yes.
which stands on its own.
Yes. Now, let's go over the rules again.
Hypotechnical syllogism.
So we start, eh?
Modus tollem.
The first four,
modus tollem.
the next 5 rules, eh? We have
Disjunctive.
constructive dilemma.
Disjunctive.
We have constructive dilemma. Then we have what? Absorption.
Absorption.
Okay.
Huh?
Simplification.
We have simplification.
Those by Joko.
We have
She's buying
conjunction.
from her book.
Addition.
We have addition, right?
I waiting by Rulani.
Okay. Now,
So run your 9.
9 is constructive dilemma is trying to say what? Cover all your books. This we are going to do it
Summarize.
off-handed. Don't look at your book. I said cover your book. Okay. Constructive dilemma. What constructive dilemma is trying to say?
Consulting dilemma.
P implies
P
Q.
implies Q
Uh-huh.
and Q
And
And
R
implies S.
Uh-huh.
Then P or
R
R, therefore
Q
Imply.
or
Q R
O S.
Q R S. Okay.
Q or S. Excuse me. Hello? I'm fine. Okay. Okay. Welcome. Okay.
Can you kick your I don't want me to kick this.
What's that? Because it's a designer, so.
Any cake with a design expensive, you know that?
We move on, eh? Okay. Now, move on to absorption. Absorption says what? P implies Q. Therefore, P implies Q. And, sorry, P implies what? P and Q. Right? Okay? P implies Q. Therefore, P implies P and Q. Right? That is absorption. And simplification is trying to say what? Simplification, yes.
Also P.
Now P and
Dot.
Q.
P and Q.
Therefore
R.
P and Q.
Therefore
Therefore,
P.
okay, yes. Huh? Okay. P and Q are true. P is also true on its own. Right? That is P and
So there is a
Q.
possibility
Also,
that P
therefore,
and
P.
Q are false or
But P and Q are false.
False.
Therefore, P also is
P
false.
is also false.
Huh?
Okay.
Conjunction is what?
What if If P and Q is
Conjunction.
student,
Yes.
Yes, P, Q.
P, Q.
P and Q.
Therefore,
Therefore,
P
P
and
and
Q.
Q.
Give me book. Oh, give me book.
Mama, it is spy. Yeah, it is spy.
Look at you want me book over the same
It is spy. That
minutes.
make her older than I am.
Okay, how about addition?
Additional. P,
Mm-hmm.
P, Q.
Wrong. Yes, how about addition? Yes. P, therefore, P
P or
or
Q.
Q.
Or Q.
Okay? So,
And we is spy. I'll take the book and I'll make.
So it's
I
enough.
will read all over them again once. Okay?
Um,
Thereafter, we can solve exercises then.
Yes.
Okay.
oh, read over. Also, that this one is maybe inside.
where? Yes.
Mama,
Mm-hmm.
this one here. Now then color. This
Which one? Implies.
implies. Okay. Okay, tell me what you can take it on. Mommy,
Okay.
therefore we try
Okay.
to practice.
So let's look at this question. But before we look at. Oh. Okay.
What's the name, Silva? We just told you what's in the mom, don't answer.
20 water, uh-huh.
Okay, it's balance.
Okay, it's the balance. Yes, but I can't remember this.
Don't know how to
Okay.
make it permanent.
Let's look at this end.
This
A
one is still in the-
Implies B. Premise 2. Not A implies C or D. Premise 3. Not B. No. It's not hold on, sorry. Let's say Q implies R. Not S implies T or U. S or Q or T. Not T. Therefore, R or U. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, first of all, let's write our first 5 rules here. Huh? The first 5 rules that we can use them now to constructive dilemma says what? P implies Q. Huh? R implies S. Then P or R, therefore Q or S. Then absorption says what? Absorption says P implies Q. Therefore what?
P implies
P or what?
Q
P and Q. And it's absorption. Huh? The next one is what?
Simplification.
Simplification, eh? It says what?
P
Uh-huh.
and Q
P and Q, yes.
upon or
therefore P.
Therefore P, eh? Then addition says what?
addition says
P. Therefore P or
P O S
or S or Q, depending, eh? In case maybe. S addition, then we have what?
I don't know.
One.
We have the
Conjunction.
conjunction.
Conjunction say if P is true
P,
and Q is true, it's also true that P and Q are true. Okay. From this statement, let's see how best we can find our conclusion here, which is R or U. Where is that order marker is? Okay. Now, we first of all start with, let's see. Q implies R. Or let's say
2 and 4.
let me see. Excuse me.
So mama umesoma uka.
Which one?
Class.
Tomorrow class.
Friday.
It's Friday.
This Friday. Next
Let's see.
month.
Let's see. Okay. Now there's a problem. I want to start with Mudo's poem. Well, this is not.
Yeah.
Okay, this is supposed to be not R. Huh? Not R. Okay. Oh, let's see if I can drive another. If I can drive another one, let's see.
Philips. 5,000.
What if I can give 5,000?
Mohammed.
If I can give me change,
So I dey pull am for you.
If I
How
12,
change?
it is to know. If I 12,000,
You tell me say 5,000. Like you self tell me. You know, even tell me say na contribution. You say like buy.
I say we buy. I say we buy.
This one's
Give me
supposed
When I
to
want
be.
to carry it.
Ah, well, let them contribute. No.
You put 137,000. We don't put 5,000.
This one's supposed to be R, eh?
Because look, the balance.
This one's supposed to be R. Are you listening? This one's supposed to be R, huh? So 5 will be. Are you listening? Are you listening? Q implies R. Not R, therefore what? Not G. Not Q, I mean. Not Q. Huh? So, this question, we.
Q implies R. Not S implies T or U.
It's not past students, okay? Yeah?
What's in?
It's not past students.
If we take 2 and 5,
2 and 5?
I'm not so yeah.
I will take one.
If we take that 2 and 5, like not S implies T and U. So that not S, that they not to the P than they.
Now let's look at this one.
Hey, and if you feel they start your seat,
You see?
and if you feel they start your seat,
A letter.
oh, well, too late.
Who stay na the program?
The 15.
So move on, eh?
Then say the 15 the one that in the seat na third day and then the seat. Me say final year.
Final year in population
sit.
and in the seat
The
first.
15 and then the seat first. More the seat. When I say inside.
You know
End
we
of
see last
July.
year.
And at the end of July. This na then final year.
Okay, so move on, eh? Let's see how.
We don't see
2
tell
and
me
4.
about 1 month exam
2 and 4. Okay, 2 and 4. Not S implies T or U. Not T or U. Therefore, not waiting. Not
Not S.
not S.
No, not
S. Supposed to be not S. Now, just look at this.
Hey, you know bad.
This is one statement. Take note, not therefore. So
Yeah,
if
that
you
na
add
one-
one not,
Why they
so
go
that they
use
become
right?
not S.
Let me see.
Huh?
So that na one statement.
So not S. Huh?
Yes. So that you na P and that not S. That na P.
Yeah,
Implies.
Use 2 and 4. To give waiting. Not S, eh? We now model
Model stolen. Model stolen.
Yes.
Okay.
Model stolen, huh? We can use 2, no, 3 and 5. Forget Q or T. Huh? 6. You know say S or Q or T. Not S. It's supposed to be not S. Not S. Huh?
This one. 3
This
and
one. It's supposed to be not
yes,
S.
that one for the not S.
Huh? Now, S implies Q or T. Not S. So T.
So what about if we take 1 and 2?
1. No, let's see.
1 and 2.
1 and 4. 1 and 4.
You go church.
1 and 4 is simplification.
Hmm?
Simplification or conjunction, of course, conjunction, eh? Conjunction. 1 and 4 conjunction, eh?
What's if I put something
1 and 4. You know, if we take P
Yes,
and Q,
it's
we can
more.
also add together this and this, eh?
They stand back it up.
No.
1 and 4 can give us what? Q implies R. Huh? And what? 4 is what? Not T implies U.
Alright.
Okay? That is 1 and 4. We use 1, comma 4 give us what? Conjunction. Okay?
1 and 4.
Yes, give us conjunction.
Then a P and Q. Therefore, okay.
Okay? Then, what next? Then we can also use let's see simplification, eh? As you can see, simplification is similar to simplification, eh? Do we have any P or R here? Or Q or not T? Or Q or R or U? How about this? Not T. Okay, this is 4. This implies I mean.
Implies. First and you. Q or T. Number 5. Number 3.
Which one?
Okay. Number 3.
S
or brackets Q
Q
or
or
T.
T.
No, it will be either Q or T or R or U. Okay?
I'll go please.
Don't come on, come
Yeah, the first day now. We don't type people there.
on.
Where each day now? They say, "Una the cause like I go."
I
They
dey
say,
go.
"Steph no sabi."
I the type people there. Well, we go read more. It come for number.
Slippers, yes, so now only 8,087.
Mama, in wear this, no use that there, big. Na the water.
I dey go soka na vasa dey go. Na
Abi.
vasa dey go. So they can go play.
Yeah. Usivi makidomo na mi, pasa sidon panamo.
Mami na sit down para. Mami they can't find you. Go call you.
Anything tomorrow, I'll call you now.
Hey, Mami, you sure?
I said I'll call you. I'll call you now, me.
Yeah, only
If
Yeah,
you
what
guys
was
right, I'll
this?
call. If you guys right, I'll call.